And for more on the Bruins' big day, let's bring in Joe McDonald. He's been covering the Bruins for a long time, and this was rather aggressive today from Don Sweeney. What'd you make of the moves, and what does it say about what they think their club can be heading into this stretch run here?
Yianni, the moves that Don Sweeney made today are pretty solid. It's another indication of the fact that they realize that this veteran core still has a little bit left in the tank. And this added piece will just help them maybe get over that edge again. They've tried this numerous times in the past. Most recently, it really hasn't worked. But adding a guy like Hall, you're getting a guy who is an established NHL player, obviously a former first rounder, former league MVP. And now he's first time in his career, he's coming into a team that's already established, has been to 3 Stanley Cups, has won a Stanley Cup. And they're thinking that maybe he can energize both himself and the Bruins down the stretch here.
Definitely a buy low, big potential move by the Bruins. And I was listening to Hall today, and he pretty much admitted it's been a tough year for me. We know he's in the last year of his deal. He has a lot of incentive to go out there and play his best. There's some red flags if you hear or talk to some people about, maybe his past or his winning ways or what have you. How do you think he'll fit on the ice if he's next to Krejci, and how do you think he'll fit in the clubhouse where maybe he isn't expected to be a leader, like maybe that was the knock on him at previous stops?
Well, that's the biggest thing, Yianni, you're right, is that all the other places he's played, he's been the focal point, right? And now he's coming into a situation where he's not. You have guys like Patrice Bergeron, Brad Marchand, David Krejci, Tuukka Rask. You can go down the list. And now you're going to get Taylor Hall, and now he will play on that second line, at least to start with David Krejci and probably Craig Smith on the right-hand side, at least tomorrow against the Buffalo Sabres. But that's what I like about this deal, is that you're getting a very good player who's not going to have really too much expectations, especially the Bruins really didn't give up much to get him. So there's a lot of upside to this deal. And you have to give Don Sweeney, a lot of credit for being able to pull this off. They attempted it to get him in the summer. It didn't happen because of cap constraints and some other red flags that came up. But now they're thinking that they're going to get a good player to help them down the stretch. And again, I think it's just a solid move by Don Sweeney.
Yeah, they've been circling each other since that 2010 draft when they had Tyler Seguin. All right, what can you tell us about Curtis Lazar and Mike Riley? Because obviously Hall's the headliner, but about those additions.
You're right. The big news here is Hall, but when you look at these two additions with Riley and Lazar, those are really solid pickups for the Bruins and maybe fly under the radar just a little bit. But if you look at a guy like Riley, he's an established guy in the NHL. He's 27 years old. He has that experience, and he adds depth when this blue line, which is now depleted with injuries. When it's healthy, he's going to add that depth. But right now, what they need is almost like a stopgap. And what happens now is he's going to come into the lineup. He's good at retrieving pucks. He's good on the breakout. He's good through the neutral zone. And that's what the Bruins are missing right now without Charlie McAvoy, Matt Grzelcyk, Brandon Carlo, Kevin Miller in the lineup. So that's going to be a good piece for them moving forward, and even adding that depth in the Stanley Cup playoffs if they're able to get there. Lazar, I like this pickup a lot. This kid, Bruins fans are going to love this guy. He's going to come in. He's going to be gritty. He's going to play in those dirty areas. He's going to, just get the fans in the building, only 12% now, but hopefully a little more very soon. He's going to get these guys riled up. And no matter when he is in the lineup, he will be in the fourth. He will play on the fourth line. But guaranteed the first shift he plays with the Boston Bruins, he's going to lay a check on somebody, and everybody's going to really enjoy this kid. So the 3 pickups by Don Sweeney here at the trade deadline could really help the Bruins not only get into the postseason, but maybe even get them on a long run through the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Is there any doubt in your mind this team is a playoff team? So it's 4 in each division, and they're clinging to that 4th spot in the East, but a couple teams are a couple points behind them. Is 4 sort of their basement, and they can only move up from here? Or do you think going into the last week or 2 of the season, they'll be fighting for that spot?
Well, the biggest thing right now is just getting healthy, right, Yianni? But when this roster is healthy, it has the ability to move up in this division, and it has the ability to go on that deep run because of the experience that we've talked about. But this deal, these 3 players, especially Hall, it has a legit chance of creating a buzz, not only on the ice, but off the ice. Look, the Bruins are grinding through it right now, and maybe getting a guy like Hall is going to make Krejci happier because now he's getting an established NHL player, just like we've seen to talk about every year at this time.
Right.
It's going to get Pastrnak back up in that top line with Brad Marchand and Patrice Bergeron, so maybe that gets him going a little bit. And then Bruce Cassidy has that balance throughout the lineup. So yes, with these moves, I believe that the Bruins can move up in the division or at least be able to get into the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Jeremy Swayman, a really nice addition last week, surprising a lot of folks. The P. Bruins knew how good he was. Now the Bruins do. How does the goalie situation map out for the foreseeable future with he and Tuukka and Yarrow and I guess Vladar? There's 4 guys in the mix, but how do you see this playing out?
It's a good problem to have, right? When you have 4 solid goaltenders that you can rely on down the stretch. And the latest issue with or update with Tuukka is that he skated the last couple of days on his own. He's probably not going to be in the lineup on Tuesday against the Sabres, but he could be back between the pipes at some point later in this week. He's been dealing with a lingering back issue. So they're going to keep an eye on that and manage that the rest of the way. But if for some reason he's not available, then they can go to a guy like Jeremy Swayman or Daniel Vladar. And listen, you get, a young goaltender with a bunch of confidence, it can build confidence on both sides. The team knows that you're stopping the puck. They get energized. And we've seen in the past, Matt Murray did it with Pittsburgh. Binghamton did it with the St. Louis Blues certainly a couple of years ago against the Bruins. Guys like Brodeur, Patrick Waugh, these are the types of examples that we've seen in the past. And maybe the Bruins don't need it this year, but it's a good sign that they do have this down the road, the future of the goaltending, because who knows what's going to happen with Tuukka after the season when he becomes an unrestricted free agent.
All right, good stuff from Joe McDonald. Appreciate your knowledge as always on the Bruins, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Yianni.